Well, we're rolling like Limp Bizkit. Did they have?
We are
Did they have
rolling.
an album out this year? Did Rolling by Limp Bizkit come out
Oh,
2001?
I don't know. I don't know anything about
I
Limp
need to find
Bizkit.
that out. You do
I
the
never
intro. I'll
liked
find
them.
out.
Hello, viewer. How are you doing? Welcome to. I should have some of that music. What was it? Back. 2001.
Oh yeah. 2000 Rolling by Limp Bizkit came out.
Yes, welcome to Full Record Jacket. We are discussing the year 2001. It is me, Phil, and he, Ben. And my goodness, what a show we've got for you. We haven't planned anything. We've got a stack of CDs. Ben may have some vinyl records. We're going to go on to the second month of the year. Well, in fact, we're already nearly halfway through it. But
Second year.
Yeah, the second
year.
What is the second? Well, I get very confused
It's
about
our
this.
second month of doing it.
It's the second month of doing it. It's the second year of the decade. It's 2001. So we've got to listen to albums from that year, and then we've got to decide what our personal.
I'm just going to blow out my headphone socket because I think I've got. That's better. Sorry about that. I can hear you now.
Is that
Do you know what
better?
one of the best-selling albums of 2001 was?
No, I can't think what it would be. Well,
A Day Without Rain by Enya.
Is that right? It's not an album that comes to my mind.
I think it sold more copies than Destiny's Child Survivor album.
I don't think of that. The album I think of when I think of 2001, with apologies.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Does it have a bottom on the front cover?
Well, it did in Britain. In the US, it didn't. Apologies to our US viewers who are not recognising the Strokes' Is This It? Because it had a very conservative front cover in America.
I don't like the American cover, but it's a very stripped down, lo-fi, garage rock vibe to that. It's very... If you were to listen to it now, like I did the other day, because it is one of the albums I've been listening to, it's almost effortless, but yet razor sharp all at the same time. It's because Julian Casablancas has got an almost sort of semi-detached, half-drunk poet sort of delivery to it, where you can kind of, you know what he's saying, but you don't kind of know all the words. And I did actually bring some of the lyrics up to the songs, which I thought I knew words to, and I was like, I don't know the words to any of these songs at all. But it does sound very jingly-jangly, but it's jingly-jangly in a way that is very good. And I used to love that album. I used to listen to it a lot. I used to spend a lot of time down in West London around that time. And I used to listen to it a lot on my journeys down the M40. Yeah.
Good Strokes.
Some good jaw lines. And obviously, Old Hammond Jr., his dad's written some famous songs, hasn't he?
Yeah, the Air That
Albert
I Breathe
Hammond Jr.
and all those hit songs. Interestingly, they also gave some of the other members of the team.
No, were they like the backing crew?
Well, Gordon Raphael was the producer. And then there was their manager, Ryan Gentiles, who was labelled as WizKid. And then this guy...
in the CD?
Yes, in the CD. And then this guy,
do you know what? I've had that CD. I don't think I've ever taken the sleeve out. I've never seen those pictures before.
Yeah, it was quite...
I've got the vinyl for that. It might be here, actually. I bet it's down there. I wonder if that's in the album, the 12-inch vinyl as well.
They also thanked everybody who bought the album, which was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When you opened up the CD, you got that on the inside. So that
I was going to say, I think I bought that album the same day as I bought the Kings of Leon debut album, but I didn't. I bought the Kings of Leon album. Did that come out in 2000?
It was a couple of years later. I think it was 2003 that the Kings of Leon came out.
Yeah, because I bought that with the... Do you remember the band The Thrills?
Yes.
I bought it the same day as I bought them, and I drew £100 out the cash machine and forgot to take the money out of the cash machine. So that was a bad day buying the Thrills album. Never really got into that album, really, but the Strokes album, a bit like that. I think that is going to be a bit like Standing on the Shoulders of Giants. That could end up being one of those albums where we're like, it's going to end up in both of our lists. So
could do. That was an album where I was actually all stoked on the Strokes before the album came out, and I was waiting for it to come out because a colleague of mine had downloaded off Napster. Do you remember Napster?
Yeah, I remember
my colleague who I worked with, who did graphic design. He was a cool music dude, and he had, he kept up to date with alternative music, even though he was slightly older than me. But I would have been around. How old was I around that time? Around about 30. I guess I was pushing 30, wasn't I, around that time? And he would have been a few years older. But we loved the Strokes. We thought it was really cool. I remember listening to what I listened to because they had I think what singles came out first. I think The Modern Age came out as an EP.
Yeah, I think it did, yeah.
And I think I remember Hard to Explain also came out before the album.
Sunday was a great track on that. And Soma's a good...
Julian Casablancas, definitely Lou Reed influence. And I know that he also tried to avoid listening to too much Beatles and too much typical classic rock and pop stuff because he didn't want to be overly influenced by it. So, now this is the other album from that year that was big. I think a lot of people bought this at the time. Ryan Adams,
one of my favourite albums, yeah.
Gold. I've still got the sticker on the front. Do you want to see what it says? It says, probably the most prolific rock and roll artist working today, said The Independent. He still is quite prolific, isn't he? Sheer blinding genius, Uncut magazine said, and The Guardian said Gold is an awesome display of sustained inspiration. When the album comes to the end of its action-packed 70 minutes, you feel as though you've been abandoned by a close friend. So they were giving it. They were giving it some, weren't they? The critics at that time.
Yeah, I've got that sticker still on my CD cover as well. I think I bought that album in our price in Hounslow. It's got like a record for the CD print, hasn't it?
There's Ryan, and Ryan was ahead of the curve on the vinyl revival, wasn't he? In 2001.
I did in the end get a T-shirt with the 79 on the front, which is wearing on the front cover, but mine wasn't the same colour as his.
It reminds me, he is a good. He comes up with a good tune a lot of the time, doesn't he, Ryan Adams? And he's one of these that's a little bit of a magpie in the sense that he can do a lot of different styles, can't he? He can do a He can do a Neil Young type song. He can do a Springsteen type song. He can do a Van Morrison type song. But he does them well.
Yeah, and his video for New York was filmed 2 days before September the 11th, wasn't it? So September the 9th.
That's right, yes. The towers were in the video, that's right.
Yeah. So, that's a brilliant album. It's like I said, I hunted down that top that he's got, but I think mine ended up being white. I think is his blue and white?
Possibly.
But that's a great Firecracker, New York, all those tracks are on there. So, going back to the Strokes, the Strokes made it, fashionable to wear skinny jeans again.
They did.
Didn't they?
Now, talking of, clothing, here's a band who were identified by their clothing. And maybe along with the Strokes, took us back to a kind of a raw form of rock and roll. You could say even more raw than the Strokes. Can you guess which band I'm talking about? They had a colour scheme for their clothing, and they were a bit noisy and raw sounding. And there's only two of them.
Colour scheme.
It's one of those. If you don't get it, then you might be struggling, and then it's obvious when you know. It's obvious when you know.
I'm going to kick myself, aren't I?
They wore white and red.
Oh, White Stripes.
It's the White Stripes. It's Jack and Meg.
Yeah.
There they are in their youthful glory. Very weird story behind Jack and Meg, isn't it? White blood cells. I just remembered that white blood cells is just completely white. CD.
Yeah, weren't they married for a short time?
Well, I think maybe they were. Yeah, I can't remember now because yes, that's right. Because wasn't there a story originally that he tried to spin some yarn that they were brother and sister?
Brother and sister.
That wasn't
yeah.
really true, but they had been married and then they were sort of stayed friends. And then, of course, she's bowed out of the music industry. Really,
Yeah,
she's not really wanted to do anything publicly. And Jack has continued. There's the other photo on the back, the outtake.
Maybe it's a bit like she's a bit like Rennie from the Stone Roses, because he's never really. Maybe these drummers that's it. They just like being in one band.
She had this thing where she's not. She's one of these musicians that's not a virtuoso musician by any stretch, but the style of drumming she had was perfect for the kind of songs they were doing.
Yeah.
So what do we have on here? Dead Leaves on the Dirty Ground, Hotel Yorba, Fell in Love with a Girl. Do you remember when Fell in Love with a Girl was used on the Six Music TV advert?
Fell in Love with a Girl.
Wasn't it a wedding DJ plays it, doesn't he? And
Hotel Yorba's a great track.
From Little Room.
Hardest Button to Button isn't on there, is it? Didn't that come later?
I think that's on the next one. That's on the next one, I think. I think I Smell a Rat. Do you remember that one? Aluminium. I used to have this one in the car a lot. This was a car album for me.
Yeah. But Strokes was very much a car album for me. Around that period, I'll tell you what I listened to a lot around that period. I had Strokes.
Yeah.
I'm sure Travis, Invisible Band came out around this time. Might have been 2002. And the same with Funk Odyssey by Jamiroquai. And then the other, so there was some weird, and I think Charlatans Wonderland came out around this time. I think I remember listening to that a lot, but I don't honestly know off the top of my head. I mean, I could. My brain has been scrambled this last week or so. My dates may be out.
I've got one by an oldie. Oldie but a goodie. This came out in 2001.
Is it by you?
No, he was. I don't know how old he was when he made this record. He probably wasn't as old as I am now, but we thought he was old at the time. Well, it's a legend. It's Elton John.
Oh, yes. It's Songs from the West Coast. Is that the one where he does the video with Robert Downey Jr. in it?
Yes. The song is called, it was the big hit from the album, I Want Love.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So this is an interesting one.
I've got that album. I'm sure I've got that album.
Now, I remember at the time, my dad liked the album, and I don't think I ever really listened to it properly. And I had it on, and it is very good. What I didn't realise is that it was produced by Patrick Leonard, who is well known for having been the producer and co-writer with Madonna for a lot of her hits in the 80s. And Like a Prayer is a Pat Leonard. The original album was a Pat Leonard production. But he was really a prog rock guy. He kind of worked with Madonna because the record company had steered him in that direction. And obviously, I guess having co-write credits on her greatest hits probably helped with his bank account. He also produced a Roger Waters album. That was his real passion, was to do prog rock. But he worked with Elton John in 2001. It's quite good when you open this up because you actually get the view inside the diner where Elton is sitting. Reminds me a bit of the Led Zeppelin. I've
never opened that up either. I've owned that for probably 20 years, that album.
I mean, it's only one view. It's not like the Led Zeppelin album where you get multiple viewpoints of the inside of the bar. But that's kind of cool, isn't it? It gives you something to look at when you open it up. I'm not quite sure how you fold it all back together again.
You talking about Madonna? Do you know what album I listened to? I've only listened to it once, and I forgot it. It came into my brain. I was thinking the other day. I thought, I wonder what big artists had albums out this year. And I thought, this artist did, and it was. I'll give you a clue. It was this artist's last studio album.
The last studio album by the artist. Okay.
Yeah.
I was originally going to guess another sort of... Is this a superstar type person?
it is a superstar type person.
Well, my first one that came to my mind was George Michael. But then I thought, no, hang on, George Michael made stuff after 2001. But
Yeah,
then,
he did. Yeah,
but then I think if we're just in the big league superstars, the other obvious one, and I'm thinking this is it now, Michael Jackson.
it is. I listened to the Invincible album. So yeah, it was. I think it was produced by Timbaland. I think Timbaland had a bit to do with it.
Right.
And it had You Rock My World, which I think had Chris Rock in the video. I think there was only 2 singles from it. But I remember when that single came out, it had a lot of publicity around it, around him, about this album coming out. And I never listened to it at the time. So this was the first time I listened to it. And it was like, it was sort of, while it's still got, the sort of high levels of production, it just feels a bit Michael Jackson light, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, does it feel a bit like Michael Jackson by numbers, that he was sort of...
Yeah,
there's a lack of inspiration somehow.
Yeah, it almost feels like he's just singing over a backing track.
Does it
which
sound
I know
as if,
which he's probably doing, but it's...
does it sound as if he's just sort of farmed it out to some producers and he's coming to sing on something that someone else has produced, but he hasn't quite been involved with it?
Yeah, there's a weird feel to it. And I think as well, I'm sure it came out 2001, 2002.
I think
he turned down a lot of the Justin Timberlake album, Justified. So things like Rock Your Body. Yeah, Like I Love You, Senorita. A lot of that was written by Pharrell Williams and the other lad from the Neptunes for Michael Jackson. He turned a lot of it down, which is why I ended up with Justin Timberlake. Now, did that album come out in 2001? Because that's a really great pop album, that album is.
I've had a feeling that was maybe a bit later, that Justin Timberlake.
It might be 2002. But we have technology, Justified.
Is that called Justified?
Justified,
That song, Rock Your Body, is very Michael Jackson-ish.
Yeah. Well, Like I Love You is 2002, so that will appear next month. But I just want to love you, baby. Yeah.
I can segue... Sorry, you were saying?
I said that was very Michael Jackson-esque. Like I Love You, so...
Well, I can segue into the next album, and I can also segue out of this album into your next album. Right?
Oh, but can you? But do you know what my next album's going to be? Oh, I think you do, yeah.
Okay,
I've got one more as well.
Because we've just talked about Michael Jackson, so I've got the other one.
The Rainbow Children.
Do you know whose album this is? This is Prince.
Is it?
This is a Prince album.
I would not have any...
This came out, say 2001, obviously. This was at the time... there he is. Just to prove that it really is Prince. This is an album that came out after Prince had been hanging... You know, Prince liked to bring back musicians that he loved to be on his records, and he had... what's his name? The sax guy that played on James Brown's records, Teo Macero, and he also worked with Larry. He also worked with Larry. What was his name?
Lamb.
No, the guy who was the bass player for Sly and the Family Stone. Larry. What's his name? Because this is pivotal. Because Larry. And I can't remember his name now. I'm going to have to look him up now. I should know this. I do know this, but I've just gone totally blank on it. Sly and the Family. He's the guy who invented the slap bass style of playing.
Oh, right.
And he's, so Prince was a huge fan of him. But where is he?
It's not like you to
Larry
come
Graham.
unprepared without the information, Phil.
I just have normally remembered that, but anyway, it's Larry Graham. And Larry Graham, as well as being a great bass player, was also into his religion. And he basically, effectively, was one of the key figures in converting Prince to the Jehovah's Witness religion. So this album, there's a bit of a clue with some of the song titles when you see some of the song titles. We've got titles like The Everlasting Now, Wedding Feast, The Work. Right. So this is a weird one because this is a kind of a jazzy funk kind of album, but Prince is also preaching a religious message through it. And so there's a narration, which is Prince in a deep voice, with his slowed down voice, that sort of segues the tracks together. So it's something that's put a lot of people off digging the album because he's so sort of preachy on it. But if you can get past that, it is a really good jazz type funky album. It's not
your archetypical sort of Prince album.
I mean, it does sound Princey in parts, and it does sound, it's obvious he's leaning into his James Brown, Sly Stone kind of stuff, the funky stuff. It is Prince, but it's one of those that's a bit of a contentious one within the discography, but more and more people in the Prince fan community are saying, actually, we like this. Anyway, if you look at the picture of him on the disc, this is the picture of it. Is it me, or does that make him look like one of the Gorillaz?
He could quite well be. He could be 2D's brother, couldn't he?
So that segues into Gorillaz, just for you.
It does, because I have been listening to Damon Albarn's post-Blur Identity Crisis album, his cartoon genre melting band. Gorillaz, and their debut album, Gorillaz, with many, many hip-hop beats and many trip-hop hazes going on. I haven't listened to this album for probably 20 years. And I put it on the other day because I just needed... when you're suffering in times of mentalness, you need something to sort of get your brain away. And I put it on, and it was like, whoa, how? And I've said this about a few albums and a few artists, is why haven't I listened to this more? Because it is really, really, really good. It is very clever, and it floats somewhere between sort of stoned, chilled, and sort of urban paranoia. It's but it's really good, and I think even just having the animated band members, like is it 2D, Murdoch,
what they were called,
Noodle and Russell. I always remember Russell. I don't know why, but it almost felt like they were almost real in a way, even though they weren't.
Cartoon characters. I never got deeply into it, but I remember it sort of took over the radio, didn't it, for a while?
I mean, you had Clint Eastwood, which was the first one, wasn't it?
What was the one about I've got sunshine in a bag? Is that one of theirs?
Yeah. Got sunshine in a bag.
Which song was that?
That was Clint Eastwood.
That was that
but
one.
Not for long, the music.
Yeah, it's amazing how... Is it right to say that internationally that was actually bigger than Blur?
Yeah. And then you had sort of like Tomorrow Comes Today, which is like proper just late night vibes.
And that's mad, isn't it?
That's the House, which is like sort of cartoon funk. But yeah, just everything about... I mean, obviously they went on and had other hits. I mean, they're still releasing albums now, and I think Demon Days, wasn't it, from 2005? Was that the one that had Dare on it? Because Shaun Ryder couldn't say there, and it came out as Dare. It's Dare.
Okay.
So, but it's... I think I really liked it as well, because the artwork, as people who may not know, I use the tag... It's been my email address for 20 plus years, of Monkey Dust. And Monkey Dust used to be a political cartoon on BBC Three. I don't know if BBC Three is still going. And it was very similar in animation to Gorillaz. And I think that's why I quite like the two. Because at first I thought they were done by the same guy. But yeah, it's such a good album. I'm like, when you're sort of annoyed with yourself that you wish you kind of had three heads so you could. Well, I wish I had three heads at the moment, but I wish I had three so you could have one permanently listened to all the stuff that you've listened to before that you've forgotten about, which you've just remembered is amazing.
Yeah.
And then a head to listen to all the stuff that is current and you need to keep on top of. And then a head for spare for one of the others breaks. So, but no, it's a brilliant album. I did listen to it a fair bit at the time. But yeah, I'd forgotten how good it is. A very, very good album. Which then brings me on to the last album I've listened to 2001 this week. Because I've been doing a lot of walking. And I listened to The Blueprint by Jay-Z. The Z. So, but I need to give it another listen because I don't think I was in the right frame of mind when I had it on.
That is a problem. It's a problem, isn't it, when you have these listening sort of tasks to do?
Yeah.
That if you're listening to something just because you think, oh, that's on the list, I'll listen to it, and you haven't been taken there by your passion or feeling, then you're not often, sometimes you're just not certain music. You just have to be in the right mood for it, don't you?
Yeah. No, and there's something maybe about Jay-Z's delivery where I listen to a fair bit of hip hop, and but yeah, I can quite easily get bored of sort of Jay-Z sort of style after a little while, and maybe that's probably because of the frame of mind I was in, and I probably need to go back and listen to it again. And people who are hip hop people, if there's anybody watching this who likes their hip hop's going, oh, it's one of the most defining hip hop albums of its era. It just probably needs another listen at a time which is more suitable for my brain. But this was also this also ties slightly into the Ryan Adams album, because Ryan Adams recorded the New York video 2 days before September the 11th happened. And I think it's like the last filmographed, not images of the Twin Towers, because I don't think anybody else, there wasn't any other TV shows or whatever filming that captured the Twin Towers in that period. But the Blueprint was released on September the 11th. And then obviously the Strokes, because of September the 11th, had to remove one of the tracks from the album as well, didn't they? So there is very much a September the 11th theme to some of these albums.
There's another album, though you say that was released on September the 11th.
Go on, which was it?
Shall I go and get it? See if you can guess what it is. You just pondered yourself. What was it?
I'll ponder. I'm good at pondering. Right, people, you're going to watch me ponder. And by the way, if you're struggling with your mental health, please go and talk to somebody.
Well, I showed you Elton John earlier.
Here we go.
Even older than Elton John.
Ooh.
Older than Elton John, I think.
Oh, I've pondered.
Yeah.
Older than Elton John?
Yeah, sure it is. No, it's American.
Is it that Leonard Cohen?
No, but you're getting closer with Leonard Cohen.
Closer with Leonard Cohen. And he's older than Neil Young?
You're in the right ballpark with Leonard Cohen and Neil Young. Kind of a cross between both of them, perhaps, in a way.
Johnny Cash?
You're in the right ballpark. You're probably getting a bit further away from it now, but
go on, hit me.
It's obvious when you see it.
Oh, of course, it's going to be obvious when you see it. Oh, bugger off! It was too obvious. I didn't see it.
It was so obvious. It was hiding in plain sight, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Oh, that came out in 2001, did it? Was that the follow-up to the 97 album?
It's the follow-up to that, and this was released on the 11th of September. This did come out.
Oh, was it? So that was released the same day as Blue. Look at him. He's got very much a Spanish waiter's moustache going on there.
This is my one. I had an extra disc in this edition, which only got 2 songs on it, which is
yeah. Are they like that song about JFK? Are they like 28 minutes long?
No, they're 60s outtakes. When I was young, when I left home, recorded in 1961. I'm not sure whether that was ever released on any other thing, and then The Times They Are Changing, which is, I don't know whether that's the original. Oh, it's an alternate take of The Times They Are Changing. So that's kind of weird that they put two 60s outtakes on it. But
see, if that was the Beatles, they would have had a whole album just dedicated to that outtake.
People did try to start reading things into the lyrics because of the day that it came out. Like one of the songs starts with the line, "I'm stranded in the city that never sleeps," and stuff like that. And they were saying, wow, he's referring to New York. And then, 9/11 happened on the day it was released, but then lots of songs refer to New York, don't they? So it's not exactly...
Yeah, I was going to say, lots of, yeah.
But it's a great one. If you like modern, sort of latter-day mature Bob Dylan, I think this is one of the best. It's one of the ones that you can put on and repeat quite a lot because it's quite entertaining as well as being interesting lyrically.
Yeah.
But I do like Love and Theft. Still got, look, it's pretty mint. I've kept it very mint, haven't I? That's from 2001. Yeah. No dog ears on that one, you see.
No, that is mint. On Discogs, that would be double mint. I'm just having a look. I'm just going to have a quick look at what other albums got released in 2001, because obviously we're going to have to explore 2001 a little bit. Well, Digital Dream Door, here we go. This has got, I'm not going to run through the whole list. I'm just going to pick out some that stick out to me. The 100 greatest albums of 2001.
Okay.
We'll start from 100 and work our way down. And I'll see if there's anything that sticks out to me. BMRC, their debut album came out in 2001.
The Black Rebel Motorcycle Club.
Yeah, Black Rebel Motorcycle Club.
Forgot about that.
That was a great album. Whatever happened to my rock and roll?
Some more Bob, a lot of some pictures of Bob that we haven't seen in ages.
Do you know what comes in their top 100? Rooty by Basement Jaxx.
Rooty?
Yeah, Elbow, Asleep at the Back. That's a really good album. Macy Gray had an album out. All About Chemistry, Semisonic. I listened to that album. I wasn't a massive fan of that one. Oh, God, Ja Rule had an album out.
Did I tell you, I saw Bob Dylan around this time. I saw him around this time.
How was he? You all right? Just been Tesco's?
It was his usual uncommunicative self. He came on, did his songs.
Do you remember this guy, Phil? I remember this Andrew WK.
Yeah, who was Andrew WK?
I don't know, but I remember him having a weird album cover on one of his albums. Britney Spears obviously had an album out. Free All Angels by Ash. That was a good album. Royksop, Melody AM, that was another good album. Just Enough Education to Perform.
Stereophonics, was that?
Not my favourite Stereophonics album, but that obviously came out this year.
Got another one.
58 is J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez. REM's
Reveal.
Oh, did that come out 2001?
That was 2001. That was a...
blimey, right. Tenacious D.
I never got that deeply into. Yeah. But I need to give this more of a chance.
Well, that came in at number 49 in Digital Dream Door's albums of that year.
Okay.
Death Cab for Cutie, Maxwell had an album out, Depeche Mode, Pulp, We Love Life. I probably need to listen to that. Rammstein, won't be listening to that. The Green Album, Weezer. Laundry Service by Shakira came out. Invincible by Michael Jackson comes in here at number 31.
Really?
Origin of Symmetry by Muse. Fever, Kylie Minogue. Gold by Ryan Adams comes in at 25.
Aria. I know they give you all the lyrics, but no exciting images in
there. Vespertine by Bjork's in there, and 22 Songs from the West Coast by Elton John.
It's quite highly rated.
Love and Theft by Bob Dylan comes in at 15.
Okay.
Amnesiac by Radiohead's there at 10. At 9 is Gorillaz. White Blood Cells, The White Stripes is at 6. And you got Daft Punk, Songs in A Minor. I've got that by Alicia Keys. And then at 2 is This It? Is This It? The Strokes. And The Blueprint by Jay-Z's their number 1 album. So do you know what, Philster? just in that segment alone, we have covered at least 5, 6, 7, 8% of the top 100 albums of that year. Of this year, 2001. Because we're in 2001. We're still in bootcut jeans. Big Brother's still mad. Oh, yeah, Nasty Nick. Even though it was 2000, but we're getting on to season 2 soon, so it's going to be blinding.
I tell you what, I did put on headphones the other day to do a bit of exercise too, but I only got about 15 minutes into the album.
Go on.
Daft Punk.
That's on this list as well.
But I must admit that I got a bit bored with it.
Discovery.
Maybe I wasn't in the right frame for it, but I was up for it. But I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to. I don't really know why. I don't know.
Maybe it's
why
a bit like me and the Jay-Z album.
Could be, yeah, could be.
Because it's like at 7 is Misunderstood. By Pink, and I don't know why, I've never got really. Pink is one of those artists I can just turn her off, and I don't know why. That's nothing, she's probably very good. Her albums are probably very good, but it just doesn't do anything for me. But number 8 is Toxicity by System of a Down. And I remember them, didn't they do that Aerials? Aerials.
Yeah, no, I've never really listened to System of a Down. I know it was quite highly regarded, but this is kind of like, what is it? American alternative rock, heavy rock?
Yeah, I always thought they were Irish for some reason.
It's American, isn't it? But I've never...
Slipknot,
but they were big.
30.
They were
big, massive for a little while, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So there's a few... Celebrity by NSYNC comes in at 47.
Is that the band that Timberlake was part of?
No, it was the one that Timberlake was in. Trouser Snake. Yeah. So he's in there. Everybody's favourite band. Possibly a band that's more maligned and, takes more rigmarole, etc., than U2 and Coldplay put together. Can you guess who it is?
An artist that takes more stick than U2 and Coldplay combined. Is this an artist
from
or
around
band?
this time? They had a massive hit around this time.
It's a band.
Yeah.
Is it Travis?
No. Nickelback. We used to call them Stickleback. Yeah. Do you know why they're called Nickelback? Because I think when they bought a coffee or something like that, they'd get a nickel back in change.
Okay.
Chad Kroeger, who then went on to marry Avril Lavigne.
Is their music as bad as it's made out to be? What's
I
their
don't
song?
think it is. I
What's
think
the song?
I think it falls very much into that sort of Matchbox 20 Train, that sort of middle of the road sort of.
Are they the ones that did the song? Which was the American band that did that song about I Want to Be a Rock Star or something? Which one was that?
Yeah, that was Nickelback. That's awful, that song.
Yeah, that's why they're regarded as so awful, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, and How You Remind Me was their big track, wasn't it?
Right.
And then they did the Chad Kroeger and, what was the guy's name? Can't remember now. Did the theme song for the Spider-Man film that I think came out in 2002, Hero, which was a really, really good track. So I don't know if I'll listen to Nickelback. I don't think it's on my... I've definitely got one album from this, I think two albums from my 2001, but I'm sure the Charlatans Wonderland came out this year, and that's a good album.
I feel as if maybe I should have a quick listen to Nickelback, just on the basis that they are so derided and hated. Maybe I should just see why it's so derided and hated, or maybe it's a bit unfair.
Yeah, because let's face it, it all comes down to what's between here, isn't it? And what you enjoy and what you like. But the fact is, they're constructing something and putting something together that 99%, more than 99% of the people on the planet can't do. Which I suppose is why Stereophonics wrote Mr. Writer, wasn't it? Because that was about a journalist who followed them around and was their best mate and everything, and then slagged them off when it came to. So, yeah. But yeah, 2001, Phil. So I'm already knee deep in it, and I'm looking forward to listening to some more not unforgotten, but some unforgotten and some new albums from this year. It all helps, don't it?
It does.
Get your bootcut jeans back on and your moccasins, and we're going out and partying.
So, viewer, which album of 2001 have we not yet mentioned? What's your views on the ones that we have mentioned? You got any stories on those? And yeah, what should also be going up our list? It's the second year up our list. It's the second year of the decade. Some call it the noughties, some call it the 2000s, some call it the zeros.
We still haven't got a camera phone, have we?
At this point, I don't think the iPhone is anywhere near coming out yet, is it? Is that what was mobile phones in 2001? They were still kind of Nokia, weren't they? A lot of them.
Yeah, Nokia. Yeah.
It was
Snake.
It was a Nokia with play. You could play the Snake on the Nokia.
Yeah. And just think, kids today are always crying out for a charger. Listen here, kids. You could charge a Nokia 8210 up on a Monday, and by 2022, it would still have 25% charge.
It would still do.
It literally had a battery life of a generation. Didn't it? Just never ran out, that battery.
Had the well, it certainly got replaced by the smartphone before you had to recharge it again. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So there we are, viewer. Another show. We're clocked in at just under 41 minutes. I think we'll leave it there, won't we? We'll be back.
If you've got this far, you must really like us.
you got if you got this far, you got serious problems for you.
Hi, Mum.
Yeah, probably. Thanks for watching. All the best. Bye for now.